Today, I'm going to talk about a question that comes up almost inevitably with every GTM leader and founder that I have met. Should you outsource your sales motion or should you keep it in-house? Look, I understand why the question exists. Outsourcing sounds fantastic in theory. You skip the whole messy hiring part, no need to figure out comp plans, no need to manage the team, and you get a ready-made pipeline in 90 days. The only problem is, it rarely ever works out like that, and this is not because agencies are terrible. In fact, some of them are fantastic at what they do, like ours. It's just that the success of your GTM exercise depends as much on the motion as it does on the people running the motion. So in this video, I'm actually going to break down when it makes sense to keep your motion in-house, when you can outsource it, depending on your deal size and your GTM maturity. Let's get into it. We will first talk about why agencies fail. As a founder, your expectation is probably that you will give the agency your ICP, product deck, maybe a few case studies, and that they will start executing your sales motion and fill your pipeline with meetings maybe 3 to 4 weeks down the line. The only problem is, if your messaging is still fuzzy, your ICP is being figured out, and your positioning is not very clear, then most agencies are not even qualified to handle this kind of a motion because it's not a sales motion, it is a proper GTM motion. Now, you can outsource this to an agency who specializes in figuring these things out, but not your sales motion. So am I saying you can never outsource your sales motion? No, there are some cases where it actually makes a lot of sense, and it depends on your ACV and the complexity of your buying cycle. Let me walk you through 3 scenarios. If you're selling to mid-market or enterprise with high ACV, say above $50,000, keep your motion in-house. Why? Because enterprise sales is complex. It involves multiple stakeholders, long sales cycles, and deep ABM motions, and it requires coordination between your marketing, sales, partnership, and even your product team. Now, if you outsource this, it would be like trying to conduct an orchestra with half your team playing on Zoom and they're playing different songs. It's just not going to work. So for enterprise deals, you need to have full visibility and control, and this is why I think keeping it in-house makes a lot of sense. But the good news is, this is where agentic AI really shines. You can set up workflows that automate intent detection, route to reps directly, and eliminate all the guesswork. We'll talk a little bit more about what that exactly looks like in a bit. Now let's look at mid ACV value deals in the $10,000 to $50,000 range. Let's say you're also selling to SMBs and smaller mid-market companies, so there are fewer stakeholders and the buying cycles are also shorter. Now this is an instance where outsourcing could actually work out really well, but even here, what I would do is I would pick an agency, give them say 4 to 6 months to validate your ICP, your messaging and your positioning, and then once this is done, you know what channels are working, I would still hire in-house. Now, this hiring can be informed by what is working. Let's say that calling is your best channel, you want to hire reps who are great at calling. But if that's not needed and you know that LinkedIn and email are your best channels, you hire reps who are tech savvy because that's more important. So what you're doing here is that you're using your agency to de-risk your motion. But once that happens, you should still keep it in-house because it is my opinion that revenue generation should be completely under your control in the long term. Last scenario, low ACV deals, let's say sub $5,000. Absolutely do not bother with outsourcing because the math just does not work. Let's say your deal size is $3,000 and you're paying the agency say $3,000 to $5,000 per month. A single closed deal will barely cover the cost of the agency, and I'm not even thinking about your other costs of running the business, CAC payback period, the rest of the people who are involved in the deal, etc. So here's what I would do in this particular situation. Use outbound as your initial push. You and your founding team do some scrappy founder-led outreach in the beginning, get your first 10-20 customers, validate your problem, but also simultaneously build your inbound engine, content, SEO, distribution and community. Because in this segment, what I have seen is that outbound can be the initial spark that gets you going, but inbound is going to be your scalable engine. So I hope now you have some clarity about the outsourcing decision. I did promise you to actually break down the entire workflow for the in-house build as well. We've done that in a separate YouTube video, and that's in the channel. Stay tuned.